In this video, I will be showing you the knitting needle version of the Chinese Waitress cast-on. The Chinese Waitress cast-on produces a double-sided reversible cast-on edge that is somewhat rolled, and it has a row of chain stitches nested with a second row of chain stitches alongside. They share a center column. It's wonderful for as a decorative edge. If you want to pick up stitches afterwards and work down, you can pick up from the center shared column of loops and still have a what looks like a long tail cast on visible on the front and the back. Or you can use a whole stitch to pick up stitches and work down and still have a rolled long tail looking edge on one side or the other. This is it against a few rows of garter. Now, I do have a crochet hook video, but that version produces a twisted cast on. So what I'm going to be showing you in this video is the knitting needle method to produce a completely untwisted version that looks like this. Both chains are open at the base. I also have a video kind of talking about why the crochet method is twisted, and some other tutorial versions end up twisted. So you can watch that video as well. But this video will be a full tutorial on how to work the knitting needle method. To begin, you make a slip knot, and you don't need a long tail for this. A few inches, enough to weave in at the end. And the slip knot goes on your left hand needle. The setup steps are to place the right hand needle behind the left hand needle as an perpendicularly as an X. The working yarn is behind both needles. You bring the working yarn from underneath both, just over the left, and then from behind and just over the right hand needle. You then pull this loop through. Now, this stitch is twisted, and it's double twisted. It needs to be untwisted a full 180 degrees. You can remove your needle, insert, remove, insert once more. I've twisted it. The stitch has twisted counterclockwise twice. Now, we pivot the right hand needle again behind. Again, the working yarn is behind both needles. And now is our repeat steps. Again, over just the left hand needle, behind and over the right hand needle, and then you pull the loop through those two stitches. And now there are two stitches on your right hand needle. We need to bind off one. I just use my fingertips to ease that over. Now, this stitch here, this loop, is twisted, and it's twisted twice. So I remove my needle, insert, remove, insert to completely untwist it. Pivot behind, The working yarn's behind everything, and repeat. To make this untwisting of this stitch much easier, I use a double pointed needle or a very short, like a very short double pointed needle or a cable needle. You want your needle to be about the same size as your left hand needle, so sometimes a cable needle won't work. But a double pointed needle will work just fine. And what you do is same thing, over just the left hand needle, from behind around over the right hand needle, pull the loop through, both loops on the left hand needle. There are 2 on the right hand needle. The farthest one comes over, getting bound off. I have caught. There we go. No, I caught a stitch. There we go. There. All right. So now, instead of needing to remove this right hand needle to untwist, what I do is I pivot this right hand needle under and then around. And then I bring the working yarn to the back. I'll show you that again. Pull the stitch through, bind off 1, pivot, pivot, bring the working yarn behind. This untwists that stitch without you needing to remove the needle. Essentially, you are twisting it once and twisting it twice, like so. But in a little bit more fluid motion, by going under and up. Over, over, through, bind off, untwist, untwist. Over, over, through, bind off, untwist, untwist. So your slip knot does not count as a stitch. When you've casted on 1 fewer than you want, you untwist that last loop like I just did, and then you yarn over and pull a loop through, and then slip that on knitwise to the left hand needle. And that is how to work an untwisted open chain Chinese Waitress cast on. Thanks for watching.